Imagine today was your first day after I gave you the Humana trade. We've been talking about it for weeks. Even had it on my seminar, HUM. It was one of the ones I highlighted last week, and I said, this is a no-brainer to hold, right? We were in, we didn't get into the 207, but it was a 219 trade. We made 20 points that day. And then there was a gap to be filled. And I was teaching people about gap filling and multiple time frame VWAPs. And I said, look, if this thing could get back above 255, you're looking for 276. And you might want to swing it. Swing it. So we bought some options yesterday, and I said, listen, the dumbest thing you could do, other than buying options on a Friday, thinking you're going to predict what's going to happen on a Monday, is buying an option that's going to expire on a Friday on a Thursday night. Because if you get it wrong, it's 100% loss. And that's 270, 280 call spread on. Cool. And I also said, if it gaps down tomorrow, which is probably expected, because buying options on a Thursday night, holding it overnight on a Friday expiration, good idea. If it rallies, we'll offset what we're probably going to lose on the 270, 280 call spread, right? So, la-di-da, stock's down this morning. We buy, we make a couple of points. Boom. Pulls back, and I say, hey, listen, even the pullback is very shallow. It didn't break prior day VWAP, and we were doing most of my day talking about Humana, and then it went back to 260, 250, and I said, hey, we could buy the 260, 250 calls now, and hang on to those, and we did, and we made 100%. Some guys made 200%. I always sell too soon. But I was only trading a couple of contracts. Anyway, but then it pulled back to 260, 250 again, and I still had the 270, 280 call spread on that was going to expire at the end of the day. So it behooved me to try to make some money to offset what I was going to lose on the call spread, right? Cool. So there it was, pulling back to 260, 250 again. And we bought the stock. And then it rallied to 267.50, which was even nicer. Now it started getting interesting. Stock started getting a little bit jiggy. I was like, what's going on? And if you saw yesterday, somebody knew something. The stock was rallying into the close and was up about 7 or 8 points into the aftermarket. It rallied into the close. Rallying into the close. Rallying into the close is one of the most bullish signs you could see. I don't care what your stock does all day. If it rallies into the close, that's bullish. That's why we own PayPal, and Zoom looks good, and Roku, and the Clove, over the last couple of weeks. Rallying into the close is institutional buying, especially if it's breaking VWAP. And there we had it. Humana rallying into the close. So we were pretty confident about holding it overnight, and it still opened up down, because that's the blatant manipulation of the market. The market doesn't want to let you make money. The rumor was out there. And what did they do? What did they do? So I said, here's what's going to happen. So next thing you know, the 270s start printing. $1.50. They were 10 cents. We gave up on the trade. So I said, immediately cover the 280s just in case this thing rips. So we got out of the 280s at 20 cents. And then we're sitting there with the 270s. Next thing you know, we're getting printed at $1.50, $1.95, $2.50. And I'm like, holy shit, a miracle. And I'm talking about it with my wife. I'm like, hey, something good actually happened. I was about to lose $500, and now I made about 1,000. That never happens. And then in my next breath, I said, chances are, it's going to rip, because when something good happens to me, which is very rare, it turns out that it's not that good. So I said to everybody, I was like, this is your chance. This is your chance to really experience what it's like to be me. Someone who's made it 30 years, but I've had no luck whatsoever. I had to make every dime I've made in this industry, I've had to grind it out. I've had zero luck. 4 of the biggest trades I've ever done have all been losses. Obviously, what happened with me in the UVXY. And here we are. And what did they do? After the close. So If you have a good broker right now and you're sitting there with those 270 calls that might have expired, they're still live, my friends. Call your broker. Call your broker, right? And make sure you exercise those options, because those 270 calls right now are worth $11, or last I checked. They expired worthless, but they're not, because they're live. They don't expire till, most places give you till 5:30, 6 o'clock. Sometimes if there's somebody there, you can, exercise till tomorrow. So it's blatant manipulation. They don't want you to make money. The 270 call players got fucked. We sold them. It was nice to get out. I bought them at $1 and $1.50. It was nicer to, get out making some money instead of losing. But man, that's something that I see it trading in the aftermarket now at 282. If I didn't accept the fact that this is my life, the purgatory of hell of the stock market, where I'm right on the cusp of doing really, really well, but somehow always fuck shit up. If I didn't accept that was my plight in life, I'd be suicidal right now. This is completely fucking nuts. But what's interesting, and thankfully, I do my show in front of a live audience, and we were going over this trade, and I know there's people that are in this trade, and I hope they make a lot of money, and I hope it gets taken over for you on the weekend. And I hope it opens up at 290, 300 on Monday, and you make it 30 or 40 points. So that's my story. And 30 years later, it just continues. It all started back when I was buying options. I mean, I've told these stories a million times, but one of my first options trades, this is when options only expired every 3 weeks. And I had a buddy who was really into tech stocks, SanDisk back in the day, told me about flash memory, told me about some AMAT, all the companies that AMAT was sniffing around. And he gave me a couple of takeovers, right? So he gave me a takeover. It was VLSI back in the day, right? And he told me about this company, SpeedFam, got taken over. And then he told me about this company, E-Tech, right? So I'm like, hey, the guy's giving me 2 takeovers. Seems to know what he's talking about, because he was very savvy. He knew what AMAT was looking for. And so he told me about this company, E-Tech, ETEC. So, it was a $17 stock, illiquid. The options are kind of expensive, and they would only expire every week. So every month, I'd buy 100 contracts. Usually $1.50, slightly out of the money. No takeover. Out 12 grand, whatever. Another month goes by, I'm in 100 contracts, 15, another 15 grand out the window. Okay. Another month goes by, whatever it was, 80-cent contracts, another 8 grand out the window. So there I am, young Kenny Glick, smoking weed outside the Guggenheim Museum, because there was some art exhibit I wanted to see. And a cab. And my buddy, as I'm passing him the joint, he says, yo, those might be cops. There's 2 guys in the front seat of that cab. And I'm like, what? Next thing you know, the cab stops, and it was cops. I looked to my left, I looked to my right, my friends were gone. I never see my friends run that quickly, but so that I was there holding the joint. Okay. And this is when Giuliani was just arresting everybody. So there I was, a young Kenny Glick getting arrested for smoking a joint outside. Had to go downtown, got fingerprinted. I mean, can you believe this? Got fingerprinted, had to take the picture of the whole thing. And so next thing you know, the court date is on a Friday, and I would just wait till I would usually wait to buy my options on Friday, get them a little cheaper, whatever. So the day that I went to go to court, I had to sit there all day. I told my trader, hey, bid me in for 100 contracts at E-Tech. I want to load up again. And what do you think happened? I didn't get my 100 contracts. And what do you think happened that Monday morning? E-Tech opened up at $42 from 17, and it got taken over. right there, I probably should never have got back into anything. I should have walked away right there. Could I be the most unluckiest guy in the world? And that, my friends, was in 1996, 97, and it's only gotten worse. It's only gotten worse. So, what should have been, whatever I would have made, I was buying $20 calls. They got taken over, so 22,000, 100 contracts, $250,000. Instead, I just ate 10 grand losses for 3 months and then missed the $250,000 payout. And that's just one story. I got stories for days. And of course, old stories of me helping people and, funding people's accounts who turn out to be fucking criminals, funding people's accounts who turn out to be inept scumbags, funding people's accounts, helping people with their, lending people money that never pay me back, helping people through their divorces and supporting their kids who never pay me back. People that pretend that they know what they're doing, I fund their accounts and they blow themselves up and they leave me holding the bag. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. You would think one thing would go my way at this point. But I think it's this guy, right? I got a good dog at least. He's kind of cool. Dog's pretty cool, I got a good dog. He seems to be healthy, right? Maybe I could get him on TV or something, make some money. What's up, Brody? Oh, what? What's that? Who's that? What's going on? No? Come on. Get some. Where's the rabbit? Where's the rabbit? Where's the rabbit? There's always a rabbit around here somewhere. Who got the rabbit? He smells him. Uh-oh, there he goes. Oh. We're not going after the rabbit this time. Come on. Same spot every time. Same spot. There's no rabbit. I live the same day over and over again. I walk the dog, same spot. He smells the rabbit. So you'd think at this point, right, something good would happen to me. So when I say help me, help me, help you, help me, that's all I got. I'm pretty good at helping people make money. Really good at it, actually. Everybody killed it with the Humana today. I mean, luckily, I made some money too, a little bit. But it's a little bit. I'm due. You think I'm due, right? I mean, it was remarkable that I hit the Yankees game, but that's because I have to suffer, right? I won $2,000 yesterday. No, sorry, overall I made about $1,800 on the bet. But I didn't want to win the bet. I bet because I was leaving the house. I was like, wouldn't it be tragic if the Yankees blow this lead? Let me add to this bet. Because, I hedge my feelings on when I sports gamble. I bet against the Jets. I bet against the Mets. I bet against basically what I want to see. That's why the Dodgers are probably going to win the World Series, because I fucking hate the Dodgers. Emotionally scarred from the 80s. Always hated the Dodgers. But, man, this Humana, man, it's just sick. It's so sick. I make $1,000, I should make 10. If I make 5, it should be 50. If I actually make a 20 grand trade, it's probably $1 million trade that I'm going to leave on the table. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's amazing I could still handle this. But hey, by the way, here's where I live. This is my friend. See, now I'm friend with a state trooper now. My next door neighbor became a trooper. So I got that going for me. So if I want to party in my house, I always got the cops that have my back. So, yeah. So what's the moral of my story? Help me, help you, help me. All I'm asking for is, just a little bit. Wet my beak, help me help you. For $430, or now it's $450, we raised the price. But for $4,300 for a year of my time, you know how many of these I'm going to find for you on a daily basis? You're not going to make $4,300 hanging with me for a year? Do you know I've turned people into millionaires? I set a guy up. He's a hedge fund manager now who shorts volatility. He never even heard of the VTY before he met me. I mean, sometimes he sends me an email thanking me. I'm like, yeah, well, you know what? It would be nice. $100,000. That'd be nice. But yeah. So I just, again, shut the computer. I went to take a shower.